always my goofy mug for a half a second. It's always my goofy mug for just like a split second before we start. And that is how it is. That is just the way that those cookies crumble, wherever they may be. Welcome one and all to the KotoKai Robo-Dojo Workbench number 80. Up there.
86.
86. Thank you, Paul. Thank you. I am not alone in this venture, as always.
What's up, guys? Good evening. Thanks for hanging out.
Welcome. Welcome. I'm shell-shocked. I've been doing so much work on so many different projects that I am just like flabbergasted. How about you, Paul? How are you doing?
Good, man. Really good. I'm starting work tomorrow on a new type of project. I have just about everything I need to build a computer.
Oh, that project.
Yeah, it all came in today. So start that tomorrow, man. I have like 400 boxes behind me that I was staring at.
You got another thing here, didn't you?
Yeah, I'll break it out in just a second. I don't even know what the hell it is. Like, what is I have to look at the brand. But I got the GPO 3, which they called the RAS 30. It's a third-party kit, 1/72nd scale. Got it from Samuel, but a couple places had it, like Gundam Model Center. You know, the typical kind of third-party places you can get it from. But it was really, really nice. I know a good buddy of ours, Donovan Tiberium. He got one as well, and he got his like a day before me, which was, like I said, I couldn't have returned it at that point. But he was like, "Wow, this looks really good." So I busted open the packaging, and as far as I can understand, it's the first the first kit from this third-party company. So it's always a little like, oh shit, you don't know what you're getting, right? Like, especially
straight up
company, like it could be all crap casting and you could get half your parts. But
the plastic could be really weird and the fitment can be really super bizarre.
Right. So I haven't put anything together, so it could still fit like shit. But the casting quality from just looks great. And
cool.
It had a full manual in good English, like full color too. Yeah. And it had came with like a folder with, I got like 3 sheets of decals. Like I got a double of just more of these traditional GP decals, like the ones that were on the GPO 1, 2, and 3, kind of that G with the P attached to it, and just kind of generic EFSF logos. And then I got some that were specific to this thing. It came with some Foliage parts. It came with LEDs, and everything was like clearly separated. It even came with this little like credit card looking thing that had the serial number for it.
Oh, dude, I saw that. Yeah,
it was like the 400th one out of however many they made. So it looks really good, and even the box was very like premium feeling, which you're going to spend $300 on.
Yeah, that's
Chinese kit. Like,
yeah, you hope it's at least like
something nice.
Yeah.
So I pre-ordered it like back when they first kind of announced it. We started 3D renderings of it because I have the GPO 2 from Mechanicore, the Pyrosonaurus, or I don't know.
Tyrannosaurus.
I thought it was like kind of go together with that, but it's actually much more, Mechanicore designs tend to be like really square, like really blocky, and they make they kind of take away any curvy shapes to the model. Like their design aesthetic, very mechanical, as their name would probably imply. This one is much more like it's like a detailed, but it's more like a perfect grade that Bandai would have made. Like it's pretty, true to the design.
Cool. That's righteous. Miguel, that's a question.
Is that the kit that has one eye visor thing, kind of like Vegeta? No, give me just a sec. I'll grab it. Hold on. Hold on. Let me. Oh boy. Let me put my camera down because I'll try to put it. Pretty big box.
I'll just steal the show. I'll just steal the show, and you can do your technical stuff in the background and make everybody look at my gorgeous dimple. Just kidding, guys. So I did some work, and I came up with this thing. I don't know if I showed this last time or not, but this is the IBO medium range sniper rifle. Yeah, so I pulled a couple molds. I got some. Here's one that's fresh out. Got a handful of those going around, and been working on trying to get my samurai together. I have just been like trying to I made these molds to try and get the rest of my other stuff together so that I can get some of those things out to the people that are interested in getting them and thinking to work on them. But I'm also trying to also mitigate the rest of my time. Plus I have some obligations coming up. So things are getting pretty hectic, but that's okay because hectic is better than stagnant in any case. I want to say hi to some people that are out in there chat right now. Zach chiming in right away. What's up, Zach? How you doing out there? Galactic Toys. Everybody go check out Galactic Toys. They always have good shit going on. Like the most amazing selection of Mission Models paints. I love me some Mission Models paints. I have been putting some time in and looking at some swatches to try and get my Mission Model paints in order for my project that I've got going on right now. We also have, of course, Miguel. We pulled up a question from him. Guy Daigogi was popping. How you doing? Ty Furious, the Slayer out there. How you doing, mate? John Lynn as well. Hello, John Lynn. How are you this evening? Always being so nice to us. All right, looks like we've got Paul back. Let's see this thing. All right.
Yeah, it's a pretty big box, so it's like
yeah,
my hand's pretty big.
Hold your camera. It's so big.
Yeah. I cannot sit it down or anything. It's made by Rodums or Rodums. I don't know how you would say that. Okay. I'm not familiar with them. Maybe someone else could chime in on that. But it does have that. I don't know if you can see that. Make everyone dizzy. That one eye. I don't know.
Okay.
Thing that goes over it, and I don't remember that from the anime in particular, but
no, that's legit though.
But yeah, like a big, and this is like a cutout type situation for an inner box, and this is a like a movable band. So this is exactly how it came. Super high quality, very flat. Like the printing it doesn't have any sheen to it. Yeah, super nice. So give me a sec. I'll at least pull out the manual so you guys can see it because I thought it was pretty cool. Like I have quite a few third-party kits, and I thought this one was quite nice.
Yeah, that's really cool. I'm super excited for this because that thing is really, really cool. It makes me think back to the Ziegler, the Perfect Ziegler, which I will someday get. That is a kit that I super like. Really, I just want that thing to have it and make it, but I don't have space for it. So, and that's what I'm because so I'm not made of money. Another thing that I've been working on too on the side is getting all of the skulls ready for the skull necklace and adornments for the samurai, which is going to be cool. I'm looking forward to adding that aspect to it with all the other like weird bony and tree-like protrusions that go along with that. All right, we got Paul back in the scene.
Yeah, so this is like it comes with some metal parts, some screws and stuff, some type of like support. I don't know if this has to do with the stand that it came with. LEDs, a USB for supply, some more like LEDs and wiring. But it's all like really nicely packaged, separated individual bags, stickers. Even tells you like how many of everything you should have. And then that's got a little bit of glare. Sorry guys, but this is the manual it comes with. And it's actually like a folder, like a complete folder. That's your photo etch over here. This is your like credit card looking thing.
Right, that's your registration card or whatever.
Yeah, this is a whole sheet of decals, like the full, what is that, A5 or whatever, the full size. And more on the back, another half size on the back. It came with one of these, which is like your traditional Bandai size. And I have two of these that it came with.
Oh, that's awesome.
I have hella decals for it. And then the instruction manual is full English and I guess Chinese. Has a parts list. Everything looks really nice. They used numbers instead of letters, so it's like plate number 1, plate number 2.
Got you. So it's like 1-01 or whatever for
right.
on plate 1. Cool.
And they sold it in blue. They have like I forget what it's called, like a test version or something in orange, and then a clear version, which I'm just not a clear fan, but
I like that shield.
Yeah, and you can kind of see, it's going to be super glary, so I'll try to get this in. You can kind of see here, like all the inner frame parts. Looks really sharp. It's quite detailed, so pretty excited. Hopefully it goes together, pretty well. I think that'll be like the final test, but
hell yeah.
Oh no.
I'm pretty hyped on it. That looks sweet as fuck.
Yeah, like I said, third-party kit. Like, oh yeah.
I'm not about to get one, but I'm excited to see how it looks when it's done. To be honest with you, we got Ungawa, the Ungawa out there joined us as well. How you doing? You're well. How's that? How's that?
Yeah, I thought it was when I first saw the renderings, I thought it was either Mechanicore or like, you know, these third-party companies will sometimes just change their name, like it was, you know, because Mechanicore was Ellen before that. Like,
and then, or like not Dragon Momoko, but the other one.
Yeah, and even Supernova changed from Supernova to
Model Heart, exactly.
Right. So I thought that, but if you look at like the design aesthetic, it's not as it's a little truer to like the original Gundam design. Then Mechanicore kind of goes off on their own, take a lot of their own liberties, which is great. Like I think that's a cool part about their designs is, you know, it's not something, even if you get the same model from Mechanicore and Bandai, they're not going to look at all the same.
Oh yeah, without a doubt,
absolutely so much different.
Yeah, just look at the Ziegler or the Penelope or any of the or the Tyrannosaurus, whatever it is. You know, any of those things. They're all they're super different. We have Jay Santos up in there. What's up, Jay Santos? How you doing? Welcome to the party. We're chilling.
Probably how they've stayed in business, you know.
So the Ungawa says that has scuffed some paint a little bit and is just about done redrying that stuff and top coating. He had a little session. He's putting together this really, really righteous like little resi, like crazy proportions thing. It looks really, really cool. I can't wait until it's done so that everybody can see it. Let's see. I have some cool stuff. I talked about this a little bit on Tuesday, but I'm going to talk about it again. I got this stuff from Colin from High Crag. I got the scribing templates. As you can see, I haven't done anything with them because I've been so busy doing the other stuff. Finally, I can get back to doing some modeling. And then I got the tape style templates, and I also got this pretty righteous sanding block to try out as well. So I need to set these things up and work with those when I can get back to probably the Sentinel is where I won't be able to use them until I get back to there because everything is fairly wrapped on the Samurai. Oh shit, it's way in the other room. Hang on. Yeah, it's all everything on that, as you can see, has been thoroughly primed and taken care of. Even all my little trees that I've been working on back here. I don't know if I talked about my trees with everyone.
No, I have not heard about trees.
Oh yeah, so yeah, with my background. So my diorama right here, made out of my usual. Let me turn it around so you're not looking at the back of it. So here's the front of it. So I went for a special. I'm going to steal the show here real quick. So I went for a specific style. I don't know if it's a style necessarily. I took some stylistic choices when it came to this diorama. A lot of times my dioramas have been fully 3D where you're dealing with, or I try to deal with it as like a full on, like usually a rock structure or something like that. Because I like to make rocks. Rocks are cool. Rocks rock. Anyhow.
That joke of the night. So, we should get a counter.
Stop it. Well, maybe in the future. So anyhow, I wanted to do this as a little bit more of like the slice of diorama style. So for this one, I tried to block out the back. I have a little bit of an error right here that I'm going to have to fill. And then I try to carry the rock face around a little bit, but just leave it like the rock structures all on the top. And then on the two faces, the forward faces, and then to leave the back, and then I'll paint these like matte black, same as the bottom, just like people would do normally if they were doing like a, I don't know, like a water dio or something like that, where the water, they cut through the water. You've seen it all a bunch of times. Anyhow, so yeah, so I got this thing going, and I wanted to add a little bit of like life to it. So I've got a few different kinds of like mosses and stuff like that to use as some certain types of vegetation, because it has like a 1 to 20 scale. So it's all stuff that can be created from natural things that you can acquire on the internet or at your natural hobby store, or at your regular hobby store like your Michael's or your Hobby Lobby or whatever like that. But what I wanted to do because of the model scale and the style and the area that it came from, I want to try and add some scaled foliage to it that I've never done before. So I went through my bonsai book and I picked out this kind of tree, which is called the Japanese gray bark elm tree. And they're essentially a very, very long straight tree. I think maybe I've talked about this before, but on one of my other streams, because I've been on a lot of different streams and I get confused. Too many streams, not enough brain cells. So they're basically these long, straight tree trunks. I have some that are like a little bit with a little bit more character. This one's got a little bit more character to it and stuff like that. But so I went ahead and grabbed some skewers and I used my pin vise and I drilled in some holes and took several different gauges of different kinds of wire and stuff like that, and then put them through and glued them all in place. So all of those are glued in place. And then from there, I'll take some of this moss that I gathered and I'll make some tree structures out of that. These all go onto the base in their varietal. Even have like the A-Bitty ones to do the thing. This isn't everything, but this is just a handful of them. Anyhow, you get the point. So that adds some tree forms to the structure to try and like keep everything I don't know, not really cool, but it balances the structure, because like otherwise what it ends up being is you have this like very, very tall figure on top of a very small plinth that is fairly detailed and it has no continuity. Like it's cool to put like your model on like a decent looking base or something like that. Like I have a few different kinds of bases, but like it's either you do something that is nothing or you do something that interacts with it. Like it's okay if it's like a road plate or something like that, but those only get you so far. So if you're going to try and really impress some people out there or really wow the like everyone that's looking at your artwork, is essentially artwork. I try and like think about all of the levels of like the design aspect of it. So I don't want to just make this like pyramid of this figure. I try and add something in the background that draws some sort of visual dissonance, or like create some sort of like not so much dissonance and at the same time kind of like a harmony, kind of bring it all together. So that's what that's about. I'm gonna stop talking right now.
I think the trees give it like a good sense of scale too, right? Like you get the impression that like this thing is as big as a tree, like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly, and that's the deal too, because they are, they are at that height, and then so. Miguel says, "How many layers of primer?" This one only has probably like 7 or 8 layers of primer.
Oh, anything under than 10 is unacceptable, apparently. I'm right here, Jeff. I'm right here.
No, shut up. No. I'm just guesstimating too. It may be more. Certain aspects probably have more. Where's the Paulmeister? Jeff says.
I'm right here, bud. Sorry, I was just showing off some box. That's why I have it a box.
It's also look at how clean that desk is. Who are you? What have you done with it?
I've been cleaning, actually. I'm getting ready. So I'm going to switch everything as of tomorrow.
It takes a long time, but it's really, really good.
After tomorrow, this will no longer be the work desk.
What?
Yeah, this will be the computer desk, and then I'm going to shift everything over to the right a little bit, and it should be cool because I have that desk is skinnier, so I'll be able to use some what are those called? Architect lamp clamps.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of move some things around. You might get some like better angles, like this one's, because it's kind of a shit angle, Rick, really, to be quite honest. Like something from down or having the camera a little higher would be nicer, but I just have it on like a tripod mount, so this is kind of what I can do. Show a picture of the desk to Julio. Clean. I hate cluttered desks, guys. I clean my desk after like every time we stream. I clean the desk because I have a problem.
I don't know if that's necessarily a problem. Like I regularly clean. I just before the show today, I vacuumed the room and like kind of semi-cleaned off the desk and stuff like that. Colleen was like, "No one's ever going to see the floor," but I was like, "Yeah, but I know that it's clean."
I just hate clutter.
Yeah, I think I don't know. Some people have to like deal with the clutter. Like Miguel's talking about Julio's desk. I don't know if you saw the stream from Wet Palette or from my stream on Tuesday, where Julio's desk is like he doesn't have a huge workspace, so it's a lot of stuff condensed, get it.
It would trigger you if you saw my benches. Yeah, I don't know. I just hate clutter. I like organization. It's a thing.
As he polishes his palette.
There was dust in there. I just don't want dust in my oil paint. Sorry.
Oh man, this desk sparks joy. Says Miguel. Dude, you would trigger if you saw my benches. Nah, Jeff's is good. Jeff, we totally understand.
Jeff, I love how Jeff says benches.
Yeah, Jeff has a vast array of benches. His spray booth, you could nearly sleep inside of. A small person could sleep inside comfortably. It is amazing, to say the least. Let's see. Wow. Oh,
creative chaos is the key. No, creative chaos is not the key.
So I've been trying to think about what color I'm going to spray down as my base color below all of my paints.
Yellow.
No.
Not yellow.
Because I got some cool colors from Galactic when I placed an order. I'm sure you guys do know. And I went through all my paints today again, just like checking everything up because I love how they look when they're all shook up. And yeah, weird. And I was kind of thinking about what I can do because I always for the most part, I always paint everything black first, which everyone's like, but yeah, so I paint everything fucking flat black, and then I go through and I highlight everything ahead of time with Old Bone White, which I call pre-highlighting. If you know me, you're familiar with this. And so I do that, and then from there I paint on top of that, and that gives me my shaded base tone. And so you can do that with other colors. I've done it on my, I don't have it anymore, my Buster Gundam. It went to a hobby shop, and then I think it went with them back to their country. But yeah, so with that one, I made my own brown base out of a bunch of other stuff because I didn't have a brown. And so I made that base and sprayed that down. And then from there, I highlighted from that and then brought all my tones out from that, which is pretty righteous. And it looked really, really cool. So, oh wait, we got Greg Blair up in there. What's up? What's up, Greg? How you doing? So with this one, I'm dealing with some cool tones, like a violet and a blue and like another layer of blue that's like a more shallow blue. And I was kind of thinking of doing something that was like kind of contrasting or almost interference. So at first I thought maybe doing something that was like a bright green and then shading a white on top of that to bring up the shade on that, and then using the down to a pre-shade of like bright green of this, like, you know, it's called tractor green. And then spraying my colors on top of that to get the interference between those two, or doing, like you said, Paul, doing like an orange or something like that, and spraying that out, and then doing. But the difference with the orange is that the orange itself is so bright on the gray that I would need to do something to it to make it, you know, to make it vibrant enough to interact. And then I would have to really like worry about feathering my stuff, and that might be kind of funky too, because like trying to do like a purple with an orange and then still try and keep it all clean, keep it dark. So I don't know, the stuff I got to think about. I got a little bit of time, not a lot, but a little bit of time. So I want to make sure that I do it right and still be creative and fun with it, because I have like a goal, and keeping that in mind while I'm doing it. So we'll get there. I need to take some time and go into my books and read a little bit more. There's this great book that I've got here. I don't know if I've talked about it before, but I'm going to talk about it right now. It's called Color and Light, and it is by the guy that painted and created Dinotopia. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Dinotopia, but if you aren't, you should become familiar with Dinotopia, because Dinotopia is amazing. But it has a lot of really great information on understanding the way that your eye perceives light in a painting versus the way your eye perceives light in reality. So how to manipulate paint to make it look the same as the way that your eye sees light, as though you're watching me right now here on the intertubes. And it is fabulous stuff. It's really great, very expansive stuff for your brain, and I greatly enjoy it. So I'm going to spend some time going into this book and doing a little bit of research to make sure that everything looks just the best that I can. Maybe I'll have to split it up too. So maybe I'll do some that are like maybe sometimes will have to be like a blue background, like a shock blue background with like a paint into it, and then other ones will have to be that orange or it's different. It might be a bit more. It's a lot more work. I got a little bit of time. The deadline is in 22 days approximately. So
I thought you were going to say hours.
no.
Please leave.
I'd be having fun, like making gun replicas and casting a handful of skulls and whatnot. No. I still feel bad that I misplaced that jaw component. It'll come around.
Plum crazy purple.
Oh, the purple that I have from Mission Models, because I'm going to be doing this paint job with Mission Models paint, is beautiful. It looks blue there, but it is a gorgeous purple. And I love the way that these paints lay down. To be honest with you, like they are so flat and so strong and so vibrant. But I'm not familiar with Mopar either, so I will look into Mopar in general just to see.
Mopar's the manufacturer, car manufacturer, like Dodge. Yes.
So these are
crazy purple is like a very vibrant purple.
Right. Basically. I'm not going to switch from, because right now I paint in acrylics because it is the safest and easiest way for me to do what I do. So that's what I do. I work with acrylics almost exclusively, aside from like my primer and my top coats, which are thinned with like obviously thinner the mister stuff. So but yeah, so it'd be interesting to work in an area where I could do that. Like right now I'm super residential Brooklyn, like a second floor of a building around a bunch of other people everywhere, so you can't really just go and blast a bunch of fun crazy chemicals out into the atmosphere without drawing the old eye. So I try and keep things on the DL. I did go through my my sprayer booth just the other day and went in and like took everything out that I could take out and cleaned as much as I could clean out. It was a little bit messy in there, not gonna lie. It is a happier sounding spray booth at this point.
Desperate need of some cleaning. I did like the last layer of gloss on this, and I was spraying. I had my mask on, had the thing venting, and I stopped what I was doing and looked around my room, and it was just like smoke haze. I was like, uh-oh, I think this filter could use a cleaning.
Yeah, my filter, I stopped doing the buy the sponge filter from the the like big mat of a whatever, and it is like dense sheet of or not sheet, a layer of strips of cardboard, and then that's all blocked.
Right.
It's drawn through that, and then it just like basically just collects on there in the fan, and then I go through and I clean it out. A couple other people up in the chat. Pabs jumped in. What's up, Pabs? How you doing? Zin Wrath. Here I am thinking I was the only one that paints with Mission Models. Whoop whoop. Yo, man, I love me some Mission Models. That stuff is the best. I've painted several models. Actually, it's been on everything that I've painted since I found out about it, ultimately. We got just the usual, hey, what's up, Pabs? Everybody's greeting Pabs. Being chill. Yeah, I would think so too, that people use acrylics a lot more than they use lacquers and or enamels, just for the fact that they're so much more versatile and easier to use.
I feel like especially in the US, like I would say maybe in Japan, they use a lot of lacquers.
Sure, I suppose, yeah, all the Gaia and everything, but they're all like the ones that are produced over in that area. Say, Paul.
Yo.
What you doing?
I'm doing some oil stuffs. We were talking a little bit before the stream, and this is my first time messing with oil. So I got these little oil brushers from MIG, and I'm sure all you guys have used them at this point, but I've had a few. This is my first time. So I was talking to Brian a little bit before the stream about kind of color palettes that I wanted to go with for the oils. So I was looking at some like dot color techniques and stuff like that. And I painted this kit like a dark olivey green color, as you guys can kind of see there, and just wasn't sure what to put on it, like what was gonna look right. I'm not going for a rusted look, just kind of a dirty, grungy look overall, like well used. So I've just got a couple of oil brushers. I'm just kind of messing around, seeing how a couple of these tones will show up. So the first two I used are Starship Filth, which is just a really good, dirty, oily color. Some dark mud to give it like an earth tone. And then this one is Dust, which is kind of like a tannish color, just to kind of lighten it up a little bit on this paint. What I did earlier, these are little like rocket, I don't know what these are, grenades. I'm not even sure. But I just did some generic like brown on there just because they're just going to look dirty. Yeah, just playing around, seeing how it works. So I'm sure most of you guys have used oil many a time.
I remember in Gundam Battle Operation, is that what that fucking game was called? The mobile game?
I know what it is, but I don't remember the name.
Oh, okay, yeah, I played that for a little bit. That game, they talk about all of the stuff, and you can utilize all of these things. So whatever those are, you would utilize them. I think they're like a missile or something along those lines. Some sort of, I don't know. Chat can probably correct me and will correct me, and that's fine. I appreciate it. I'd rather be right than wrong. Or I'd rather be corrected than wrong, for that matter. That looks like it needs a little bit of glue. Let's see. We got... yes, mini painting and figure painting. Love acrylics. Miguel is Lacquer Gang, which is legit. Hey, we're not hating on you.
Yeah, I mean, I painted all of this with lacquer. Pretty much outside of like the chipping, I used acrylic. That's the only thing. Everything else, I use pretty much exclusively lacquers.
Yeah. Guys asking what kit you're painting on, Paul.
This is the Master Grade Jesta. Actually, let me get you guys a little more light. That might be
a little bit of back history.
More light. I can't see.
Say a little bit of history on your kit. This was for the cannon fodder build off from the spring of 2018.
2003. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, no, 2018 is when the spring of this went all down. I think the end date was sometime in April.
Right. So I don't remember quite what was going on at the time, but I couldn't finish it, and I just put it off to the side, and it kind of just sat there as like base coated and nothing else done to it for at least a year.
At least
a year, and then just recently decided to finish it and get it off my desk because desk clutter bothers me.
Mm-hmm.
The only reason I'm even touching this kit is just because it's bothering me.
As has been stated before in this very show, Paul don't like clutter.
Nope.
Those are flat
grenade carrier. Yeah.
Grenades, right? And you throw the grenades. It
makes sense. Makes sense. Ungawa, it is a great kit. What's definitely one of the nicer grunt master grades.
Yeah, mass produced. I don't know if I necessarily call it just a grunt suit, but I suppose it is. They are a really nice kit.
Yes, yeah, super solid, fun to build. It's got some cool gimmicks.
Oh, of course it's a grunt. You build it for the cannon fodder build off. Shit, I'll shut up.
Well, they do. It's the nicest of the grunts, and they do have quite a few. Like they have the echoless ones and stuff like that. It's higher end.
The Mark II is a grunt, right? So that's Mark II is a grunt. That's a beautiful kit or build, like model or machine. The Mark II is good, or like whatever, like the Quell or lots of these other things that are good. They're good suits. So don't get me wrong here.
Except the damn hands. Yeah, it does have the 3.0 hands. So if you're not a fan of that,
actually, the ones on mine are pretty good. I'm gonna say. I don't know if it's because they're like one of the like ones after I built like X number of these sets of hands, if I've just got used to building them now and I can manage them more. But I used to despise those hands. There's a couple of them though. They're good.
They're certainly not, not what I would choose. Like if I was working at Bandai and they were like, hey, what do you want to put on this kit? 3.0 hands would be pretty low on that list, but they're all right. I didn't play with this kit much when it was like when I just assembled it, because I assembled it for this. Assembled it and immediately broke it down to start painting. Mm-hmm. So I remember holding the gun fine, but the gorilla, they're the I call them 3.0 hands. They're the because the first time I saw them was on the 3.0 Granddad Gundam, but they're the fully posable hands, the ones that have like basically every joint that your finger has. Yep.
Yeah, we've been calling them the 3.0 hands in like various talking groups for so long, right? That's what I call them. Just talking to you and hanging out with the guys.
Like I said, I think the first time I ever saw them was on the 3.0 that I can remember.
Gonna trying to give this one a little bit more, give it a little more life, add a little more character to those branches so they're not all straight.
They are gigantic, yes, that I can confirm. They don't look as bad on the Jesta because it's a little bit bulkier than like the Grandad. Mm-hmm. But they are not they're not a petite hand. Let's say that.
The legs, amazing. The ankle mechanics and all the gimmicks delay like words fail me now. The ankles and that whole construction within the lower leg, the way that it can be posable for all of the various like action poses and the dynamics, that is like awesome. It reminds me of those old Evangelion figures that you get with the multi points of articulation. Those things are so sweet, and that is also sweet. Hype. I almost want to build another one, but I don't need any more kits right now. I have too many.
Yes, I can relate to that.
Speaking of having too many kits, guys, if you need more kits, if you're not like me and you need to have more kits, you should build some more models. You should get some more models and build some more models. If you want to build some more models and find out what's going on, you can go to USA Gundam Store and check out the new selection. There's a bunch of new shit that goes down. I get emails on the regular from Adam saying that we've got all this cool stuff coming in. Check it out. You can use Pro Builder 10 to get 10% at checkout if you'd like. Also, you can go and check out our good friends over at Galactic Toys. They do not sponsor me more than being really, really great friends and super bros for the whole fucking industry. Like, go check out Galactic Toys as well. They have another great selection of toys and model figures and diorama stuff and everything like that too. So check out both the stores, USA Gundam Store and Galactic Toys. Check them out. Get some cool stuff for yourself if you need it. If you're feeling antsy at home, you don't know what to do, get a cool model, put it together, and have fun. Also, the Critical Build-Off is coming around at the end of November. Well, season 2. Sorry, I fell off my chair. Season 2 is coming at the end of November. We're doing a Critical Core Build-Off. Get a core Gundam from Build Fighter Doodah, Build Diver Ding Dang. I don't know. I don't watch these shows. I don't know.
The kids show.
The guys, you do this, right? You watch that show?
Me, no.
Okay, I'm not alone.
But I tried to watch Divers. I think I watched like the first 3 episodes.
Yeah, you and I are in the same boat. I think we made it through first 3 shows of the first season, and it was like, gee. Now for me, I'm more of these guys. So yeah. Anyhow. We're doing a Vercore build-off, so get a core Gundam, do what you want to it. Only thing that matters is that it has that core inside of it. So you can take a core Gundam and you can slap Camper on it. You can slap Goof on it. You can slap whatever. You can slap Jesta on it. You can slap a Hazel on it. Or whatever. I don't know if you want to do that. They're expensive. But whatever it is, you can take just take a core Gundam, get one at your local store. They're like $12 or $13. They got them at USA Gundam Store and they got them at Galactic Toys. And just get that thing and slap some cool stuff on it. Take your parts bin and dip it in glue and roll it in that shit and paint it pretty. Do whatever you want. We just want to have some fun. I'm going to get one. I don't even do this stuff for those. I do other things, Now I sound like Julio. Anyhow, yeah. It should be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it in a weird way. My wife says that I need to be quiet and take a breath.
Breathe.
She she is a little bit of my levity. My anniversary is coming up in a couple of days.
Ah, awesome, man.
Yeah, I've been married for 10 years.
Poor woman.
Wow. Poor woman. Paul says poor woman. Oh, my friends. I tell you, my friends. Hold up. We said join. Miguel says join Critical Build if you want to get embarrassed online by Brown Paul. Oh, where is Ronan? Where's Ronan for the live roast? Brown Paul. Oh, that just slays me too. Oh, goodness. Oh yeah, that's right. Jeff in Canada has an anniversary too near the same time, huh? Normally we're at Comic-Con this weekend, and this is like big sad because no Comic-Con. Yeah. Next year, hopefully. Cross your fingers, wear a mask, wash your hands.
Please.
Nice. Thank you guys for the congratulations. I do appreciate it. So, gotta paint this thing. I'm feeling pretty good about it. That detail sander works really good. I was just like ranting and raving a little bit, giggling to myself like a happy little schoolboy about it last week. And I still feel just the same about it today as I did then. I haven't gotten a chance to make the video yet, guys. Don't feel bad, and girls or whoever out there in TV land. But yeah, like I haven't gotten a chance to make the review video on it, but it is awesome, and I'm going to because I need to talk about all the cool aspects of it. There's a lot more that isn't available out there readily right now that people could know about. I think that's going to be helpful and help me just like express my love for a tool. I'm one of those weirdos. Like, tools. Here we got Timmy. He's dressed up like a zombie. Hey, Timmy, how you feel today? I like tools.
We got here. No trick or treating either. We usually do the front lawn up with spooky crap. Wife is bummed.
Oh, well, there's no reason not to go up the lawn.
So we're allowed to treat.
Well, thanks to Santis. No, I'm saying like there's no reason not to spooky it up. Like, no reason not to celebrate. I mean, all right. So the youngins aren't going to come through. That's unfortunate, but everybody that drives by will get to experience all the coolness that you're in, fun that you're having. Like that is beneficial. Like I put Christmas lights when it comes around Christmas time. I put Christmas lights in my windows in the front of my house. I do that for myself as well for the people that go drive by because it helps to brighten up the area and spread my cheer, my holiday cheer for celebrating the end of the year for Yule and the togetherness and all that stuff made through another year. That helps me spread that shit around. So like I say, even though you can't like actively chuck candy at kids, which maybe that's what you should do. Maybe you'd like set up a line and you just throw the candy like just at the kids. You got kids.
Just drive around and like
put it on TikTok, monetize it. Genius. No, I'm joking. But I do like the idea of throwing candy at children. Is that bad? I don't think that's bad.
Go with it. I mean, drive.
I wouldn't like hurt them intentionally.
Intentionally.
Because
it happens.
Actually, I'm just gonna keep swinging my fists, and if you happen to get in my way, that's your problem. Let's see. Miguel says Halloween drive-by. Pull up. Guy says, I'm hoping for the Master Grave Dom 2.0. that's been in the works announcements. As I think that it's coming once the PG Unleash is launched. Oh, that'd be swank.
I'll take it.
They haven't printed those two in a while. That is true. I would take it as well.
We'll take it.
Jay Santos says no. I'm gonna guess he's responding no to my saying, is it bad that I want to throw candy at children? I'm trying to give children candy quickly.
They need sugar, obviously.
Yeah, they need sugar. I know, I do. Jeff says, I don't want to encourage the dumb parents that think it's okay to take their kids out to the COVID wasteland. Cases are spiking up here. Homie, I smell what you're stepping in. My city is going nuts as well. New York is starting to go nuts again. So there's been, because of the holidays for the various religions that are here present in the city, there has been unregulated and irrational celebration, which I understand it's a thing that you want to celebrate your faith and do the things that are important to you in that that aspect, but you have to think about everything more than just you or your small you, which is a very small part of the whole thing, which is the earth. So it's just unfortunate, right? Jeff says FYI test came back all negative. Fuck yes.
Right. Yeah, I know he had a close call with kids.
Nice. Jay Xanthus is saying mini porch trebuchets, and I like that idea a lot because I like trebuchets and I like scale modeling. And Miguel says candy, cinder blocks, whatever comes to mind. Wow. They also need. Ungawa says they need to reprint the Rictom at least once since he needs one as well. I agree with that as well. I think that the Rick 2.0, or not the Rick 2.0, but the other Rictom, the one that came after that, deserves a model because it's actually really cool with the weird like crazy spiky shoulders and like that whole thing. I think that's a cool model or a cool design.
All of those Dom variants, they didn't really.
Yeah, there's a lot. The Tropin doesn't have like an actual. You have to go to like the route we went with, like get the Resi upgrade, which is legit. They had that. But
yeah.
Hold up, what's going on here? Oh, right, okay. Jeff says he's up in Kanakistan. Kanakistan, Canada. Oh, that's right. Yeah, Miguel. Yeah. Those guys are all out there. The Edmonton squad, straight up living it large in IBO.
Jeff, I just sorry that you tagged me on Discord. I have watched that video. I've watched all his videos. I wish he would make more. Stuart Lathe, I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with him. English YouTuber, Gunpla guy, but I don't think he's made a video in quite a while.
Blah, blah, blah. Oh, Christ. Yeah. What a world. What a world. Nice. Okay, so what do I do now?
Is that an existential question or a legitimate one?
Yes and no. I guess I'll just keep messing around with these trees a little bit.
Yeah, hit the trees. No, wait. No.
Excuse me. Gotta sneeze from these trees, y'all. No, I'm gonna keep adjusting the branches. Like this looks like a crazy manic telephone pole. So I'm gonna try and give it some character a little bit. I'm just gonna do some bending. This is all just steel welding wire anyway, so. I gotta like get ready to kick out the jams on this project. It's coming down. Might think like 20 days, 20 plus days slightly is okay, but that is it will disappear and you'll be feeling like somebody that misjudged time on Chopped. on Food Network and just be sad. And the judge will be looking at your shit like,
Gordon Ramsay will yell at you.
Ramsay's not on that stuff, which is fine. He has a lot of other good shows that are good. Have you seen that one where he goes through to like the bed and breakfasts? And
Yes,
like,
I love that. I love those.
man.
Those are like guilty pleasures of mine.
I do love watching some other people get bitched out. I'm so used to getting bitched. What do we got?
Although
Miguel says
seriously,
to weld.
like my intelligence when I see people who own restaurants that were like at least at one point successful, and I'm like, how did you not know you couldn't do that?
True story.
Oh, you had to put food in the refrigerator.
Yeah, right. Why are you overbuying? That's one of the things I see a lot on like Bar Rescue and all these other things, like overbuying. Like, oh, it was a good deal. No, you were just like, you were drunk, and somebody talked you into buying.
Or when they
30,
try to convince themselves that like frozen
130 pounds of pork shoulder. Like, you're not going to use that in 5 years.
I got microwave spaghetti. It's as good as my mom's.
Oh, no, sir, no. Let's see. Miguel says, will I be able to weld anything onto it after I've primed? Yes, you can always weld through this primer because it's not very thick, but I wouldn't want to do that anyways. It would probably set the skewer on fire. One of these days, though, I will have to reacquire welding apparatus to finish that grandiose Thunderbolt concept that I had in mind that may or may not see fruition one of these days. I had to actually box that whole project up and put it into deep storage because of the footprint it was taking up. I don't know if anybody knows about that besides Paul.
Huh?
Baru? You know about that, don't you, Paul?
I do. I'm familiar.
Okay, cool. I was gonna be like, how quiet was I about that? Sometimes I try to play things a little bit close, but I think it was that close. Oh shit.
I got my fingers.
Who talking shit? Oh, do tell. You want to hear about my secret plans? Well, I can't let them all free. So everybody will be biting on my ideas. I can't do that. I have one of many ideas for a very fabulous diorama that will happen someday within the next couple of years, ideally. We'll see how it goes.
I need more light. I can see.
Still looks a little bit like a crazy telephone pole. All right, it's not enough three-dimensional movement here. All right. I can do this.
He's only here for a few. Bears game is on. Oh shit! I forgot it's Thursday.
I'm telling you,
Bears.
ain't nothing been good since Walter Perry, not Peyton Manning,
Walter Payton.
Walter Payton, and who is the fridge? William Perry. Yes, and the fridge, William Perry, and Jim McMahon, and Mike Dickus, and God, and Jesus and the Bible and sorry, I was going off there for a second. That's like a Mr. Show season 4 joke that never hits ever. All right. I think that needs to be turned up.
Turned up?
Turned up for what?
For grace. Thank you for mercy. For understanding.
Thank you for Denzel rocking it. Here we go. I got a little bit more. There we go. A little bit more verticality out of that. A little bit. That looks weird. That one looks weird. This one right here.
Super.
Not a fan. Not a fan. Is that better? It's weird that I can only tell by looking in the camera. I can't tell by looking directly at it. It's like taking a mirror and looking at your artwork or your model in a mirror so that you can see it from a different angle that you've never seen it from before. Couldn't naturally see it from. That way you can take an outside.
Go sports team.
Alkalad virtual hug. These guys are getting all bro. I knocked another one off. Another one. So it's got all sorts of flavors on it. Oh man, I love when I use sculpture wire for this stuff because I can just really bend it with my fingers incredibly easy. Armature wire, not just sculpture wire, armature wire. Because you get so much out of it by just barely using your fingers, whereas using that like welding wire, you have to like manipulate it with like a pair of, these are just like some rounded, I don't know what the hell they are, some sort of plier. I don't know their specific name. If anyone in the chat knows, please correct me because I'd rather be corrected than be wrong. I'll say it again. It's a theme for the evening. And yeah,
they are actually called welder wire bending pliers. That's actually
you are a lying motherfucker.
Official term for them. Sorry.
You can just take this and bend it into, however you want to do it, just with your fingers, which is pretty legit. Yeah, it is actually pretty difficult, and that's kind of the fun of it for me. I like to do things that are difficult. And see what I can take that isn't anything close to what it's supposed to be, and how close can I get it to look right? Like I did. This is a bunch of different levels of gauging wire. There's like there's only two. Yeah, I guess there's only two different levels in this one. Some of the other ones have 2 or 3 different thicknesses of wire from different, all pin drilled by hand in different angles and stuff. It's all very tedious. I'm crazy.
You were dead on about the colors, though. Definitely white would have been too stark. That sand tan color actually works for that effect I wanted.
I told you.
It just kind of makes it look like the sun beat up that surface a little bit and made it a little lighter.
Yeah, give it a little sunburn. You're familiar with that terminology when it comes to car paint.
Mm-hmm.
That sunburn on the roof.
Not
Not even that, man. When the sun just bleaches the layer and it crusts off even the clear coat on an older car, usually a Corsica or something like that from the mid '90s potentially.
Nice. Happy with that. I'm gonna do after this some. I'll flat coat it once this dries, and then I have some of those weathering kits from Tamiya. Like the powders.
Straight up.
I'm gonna do that. I think along the bottom of the feet.
Are those good for on flat coat, or are they better for a gloss coat?
No, you can put it on a flat coat. I think you don't want to like go crazy with it. You know, like
Okay.
don't like I would. You know how I've seen Tim use it as like an edge highlighting. Have you seen that? Like he did it on his. Actually, I think he did it on his Jesta, the one that the Skydrop Jesta.
Yeah, airdrop. Yeah.
Airdrop rather. Sorry, he used. I think that's what he used, like those Tamiya pastels for like the corners, like the edges of the kit, to kind of give it just like a.
Yeah, he did a little
worn.
bit of give it a little bit of a worn look.
Right. I'm looking for it to actually look like dust or dirt on the bottom of the feet. So
yeah,
like
we actually reviewed that one on Critical Build, episode 1 or 2, I can't remember, but Tim was in there with the airdrop, and we went through, took a look at it. If you guys want to have a look-see back, and go to Chris Pab's R3D5UNZ Red Suns YouTube and check out those old episodes of Critical Build Off, or Critical Builds. Not Build Off, but Critical Builds. Season 1 was fun, especially at the end, right, Z and Miguel? Here we go. This is looking pretty decent now. It's got a bunch of variant. It's got like I'm breaking the planes all around. Nothing looks like a telephone pole. I'm gonna call that one good.
Very good.
Nice. Like Tony the Tiger said, "Oh yeah," that was Ultimate Warrior that said, "Oh yeah."
Yeah. No, Macho Man.
Oh, Macho Man Randy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. There it is. Thank you.
Macho Man.
Macho.
Defeated by Spider-Man.
Wow. True story. So that's the first one, right? Toby?
Yeah.
Raimi, Spidey?
Oh, so okay. What is it? Old makeup brush? Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. Thank you. I will look into that. I do have a handful of those. And just like some generic, like cheap brushes. Actually, that's what we were talking about also a little before. I'm using like super cheap brushes to do this in particular. And I don't even mean like super cheap artist, super cheap. I mean like just super cheap Walmart, super cheap.
Yeah.
Because Cannon fodder does not get specific. It doesn't get fancy brushes, right?
I use a lot of different brushes. Speaking of cannon fodder, my cannon fodder build will be out on the West Coast soon. So if you're on the West Coast, you'll be able to go and check it out if you're out there. It is currently 1,000 points of light flowing through the universe on its way. Oh man, that's the problem when you drill like a bunch of holes in a really old skewer, is that it wants to break. But that's why the good Lord saw fit to make cyanoacrylate glue. Super glue. It's not just for gluing construction guys to the underside of I-beams anymore.
Right. Makeup brushes from the dollar store. Perfect. Yeah. For like multiple things too, man. I have a handful of like makeup style brushes. I use some of them just for like cleaning. Like, you get like a little dust in the kit or something. Makeup brush. Perfect. Like I have like some of these deals. like the elf brushes. I have like some smaller ones of this too. I just steal them from my wife. Like I don't even go to the dollar store.
I get them gifted to me when they have run out of their usefulness.
She would never think that I stole this. You know, like she's not gonna ask me like, "Hey, would you use a brush?" Because how the hell would I know?
Oh, is that
In
how
my
it is?
hobby room?
Willfully given.
No, I'm just kidding. I went and bought them.
Paul's a makeup brush philanderer.
Yep. Swipe. I have no wife to steal from. I'm sorry. Sister. Get a wife. Stealing from them is fun. It's true.
Oh, see. Try.
Seems
I
like
want
more
you-
work than it's worth. Nah, man, it's not. It's not. Not a. You got to pick out a good one. That's the trick. And then it's no
Yeah.
work. Then it's no work.
Exactly.
Really.
Yeah. Just gotta find the right one. And it shouldn't be any work. That's the idea. It's not supposed to be work. If it's work, then it
You
ain't
should
right.
get paid. And makeup brushes.
Oh no, but seriously though, so yes, what I've gotten from Colleen, I've gotten like a whole pile of them, but the two that I like the best are this one, which you're familiar with, right? Standard like soft, buffy, get the dust off for taking photos and stuff, and then I have this one, right? Have you seen one like this, Paul?
Now this one right here. Yeah. That's like a blender or something.
It's
I
pretty big. It's like, you know,
probably used like the complete wrong term. I butchered that terminology, but like I understand its purpose.
getting like older dust, we'll just say, like stuff on it, and like really getting things like clean without causing any stress on the finish. So you can really like buff a cat hair. It's been sitting on your gloss coat for a while. I have experience with that.
Mm-hmm.
Cats. All right, can I bend this? Oh hell no! Oh hell no! What's going on? I was so busy looking at Tree World that I wasn't looking at the chat.
Being ready. Today, those words mean more. While no one's ever fully prepared for a moment like this, St. Joseph's College in Brooklyn is ready for what lies ahead to prepare you to live a life of integrity, social responsibility, and service. To be, not just to see, to navigate our challenges. So when we come out on the other side, and we will, you'll be more ready.
The guys is that have an old Badger hair shave cream brush and a few applications that require a long reach top of makeup brushes. It's for contouring, says Ronan.
Yeah, that's what I'm. Yeah, not blending, contouring. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. What am I supposed to do? I don't know. I don't know this stuff. I'm not supposed to. I'm not supposed to. Let me see. Where? There we go. Sorry about that. Little hiccup. Little hiccup in the music.
Good.
All right.
Messing. This definitely toned down the chipping quite a bit, which I'm very happy with.
Oh, right. Was your chipping a little bit overzealous, or
No, not in volume, but I think I told you like this dark green. I couldn't really come up. Well, I'm sure there's plenty of colors. I didn't have a color that I thought was going to look good on it, so I went with just like a silver paint, which is just it's bright. So this really took that down quite a bit.
Yes, Manny, it is the intro track from Tales from the Dark Side, but it is not Tales from the Dark Side. I watched Tales from the Dark Side recently, as well as the OG Tales from the Crypt. If you guys have not seen that, it is worth a watch, not for its scare factor, but for its nostalgia factor. Ronan saying hello to everyone. Michael Dawson's up in the chat. How you doing, Michael? Good to see you tonight. Welcome. Zach is always good for getting back to people on Gawa, so you can trust him, Zach. The man delivers. All right. How to do this without breaking it? Boy. Fuck balls. Alright. That's not bad.
All right, on to the arms.
Some of those are just colorful. Right. Okay. Oh shit! Why is this not scrolling down? Here it is. Nice. I'm gonna go with the collective high.
Hey.
Or Santos. Santos is the collective high. Miguel's comment right below it. Sorry. Said it was beating. Wait. Miguel, but if you're not painting resin, you can use semi-gloss paint as your primer. Z, what kind of bad advice are you giving in the audience, man?
Just like generic semi-gloss paint, or like
I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. I'm gonna need to take a look at your work on that math problem there, Z. Exactly. Because what the fuck are you talking about, Ronan? Z, so for me that's gonna be a fail.
damn, man, you're jumping on Brown Paul. I'm not appreciative right now.
Perfect. I love that you call him Brown Paul. I think he probably does too. Tiberius. Yeah, I hear you, Tiberius. It's a very, very expensive kit for sure.
Yeah, it looks great. I mean, the mechanical detail on it looks super dope. But
it looks amazing. It is very expensive to own. I would love to finish one someday. Just to finish one. I got some ideas. I've always had these ideas.
ideas.
full of ideas as well as bullshit and piss and vinegar. My favorite flavor of chips, piss and vinegar.
Mm.
I'm lying, of course. That's disgusting. Huh. Z's favorite flavor of chips. He can't defend himself. Brown Paul's favorite flavor of chips. Oh, shit. Jeff says prime the life out of Bandai plastic if you're going to enable thinner base weathering products. Exactly, Jeff is correct.
Yes, this is primed and painted and coated and chipped and coated.
Clean stand, clean again, prime again, clean again, then paint.
And then coat it.
At least. And then, yes, definitely. When you get to your, like, when you have something that you like, clear coat it and let it cure and then work on it again.
Yeah.
Because
this has been clear coated now 3 times.
Like, you have a really high chance of screwing something up that you really enjoy by not taking a little bit of time to make sure that it's cured. I understand deadlines. I fuck deadlines up all the time. I'm just saying. Don't do that. A lot of people say you can don't do that. Don't do that.
Do what?
Don't skip primer. Don't.
Mm. Don't do it.
I mean, okay, you can do whatever you want. Do what you want. Do you, boo. That's what I'm gonna say. I wouldn't skip the primer personally, but you can do whatever you want. It's not my build. It's your build. I prime mine. And that's obviously.
I would love to hear like
ask for the amount of times I prime my shit, which is fine, and I welcome it because it's necessary.
Are they talking about priming just a plain Bandai kit, like straight out of the box?
Fucking. I'm a purist. I don't know if I'm a purist per se, but most of the stuff that I work on, I don't just do a thing. The closest that I come to a straight build is the Violent Monster, or that's even over the News Young over there, like or the RGM, which is also on its way to Cali. Yeah, like those. That's about as close as I'm gonna get to a straight build, which is nothing close to straight. So always forward, never straight.
Well, I see Ongawa talking. I have primed or base coated with like gloss black enamel to do metallics.
Oh yeah, you definitely want the good gloss black.
Right. Well, I didn't prime first. I just went straight with a really high gloss black enamel as like the primer. But I did that on frame parts, and my thought process was that if I like too many coats on a frame part was going to start to affect it, like clearance wise.
Respect. Totally respect that. Absolutely. And that's why it's good to have your know your paints and your ratios to make sure that you're not spraying really thick coat of anything.
No, super thin.
Respect.
Black will etch into plastic without primer. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Sure, yeah. If you're using a solvent-based paint, it can etch into the plastic. Yeah,
especially Bandai plastic is like very susceptible to this.
You can also get that. You can also get that orange peel, potentially on your fuels or your fairing or your tank for your motorcycle models. If you do not prime and sand and prime and sand again, and prime and clean. Then you have to like post polish, wet sand,
Ungala, I have the gloss black the gloss black base, and I actually used it on this kit. And
Into my eyes.
you have to polish it so it doesn't spray gloss black. Like it sprays pretty flat, and you have to go back over it. So I didn't in this case because I didn't want the metallics to be like super poppy. I just wanted a black base, basically.
Z finally picked it up. I'm razzing him. Yeah, I use the acrylics. I use Mission Models gloss for chrome, and then the chrome. They are pre-thinned, much like finishers. It's crap. The one on the SMS. SMS is pre-thinned. Finishers, they're not pre-thinned, are they? I can't remember. Anyhow, Zach, I know he's out in the chat. But yeah, so I use these ones for Mission Models, and they are pre-thinned, so you don't have to add any thinner or anything to it. Straight out of the bottle, straight into the airbrush, straight onto the bottle, and it works really well. The surface condition does matter. So if you're spraying in a dusty environment, or like a overtly dry, or overtly humid, or overtly my two cats everywhere all over me, running around me like Simon cats in a circle, it's gonna F you up a little bit. But here we go. Ungawa says finishers not pre-thinned, which is legit. Jeff says Mr. Color GX Black is the base for his metallics, which I can totally fucking deal with because I love their GX clears, gloss and matte, and I imagine that they are amazing. So that is really, really hype. I don't know how they would. I imagine they would work fine. Excuse me. They would work fine with my my chrome top coat, and I could probably use any chrome top coat on it almost. Jeff, do you have experience spraying like the Alkalad or a Maltau chrome on top of that GX black gloss? Just curious if you have any familiarity out there in the chat, or if anyone else out in the chat has that familiarity. I'm curious. Let's see. Ty Furious says that he finds that the Alkalad gloss black will spray gloss black, but you have to lay it on thick. Otherwise, you'll have to polish it. Got you. You have to wet coat. Yeah, I totally understand. And that's kind of the same way with the GX from Mister, is that you lay down like a tack coat and then let that dry for whatever, 30 seconds to a minute or something like that. And then you can go on top of that with a wet coat, and then you have to wet coat it, and then let the wet coat chill, and then wet coat again as per necessary. And this is somewhat complicated, but also cool.
So when I did the enamel gloss black, like you really don't have to even think about it. Like you just spray gloss, like because the enamel levels really well.
Right.
And when it dries, it is super hard.
Right.
Gloss black.
GX, I'm also going to be using like a leveling thinner, which I need to get some more. I've only got like a little.
But you run the risk with enamels, like you said. You potentially, I could have cracked the plastic, and that could have been the end of the game.
True, and that is very true, because the thinners are so harsh. You can absolutely weaken and crack the plastic.
But it was a risk I was willing to take at the time.
Oh, awesome. Oh, sorry. There's some horror movie stuff going on in the background over here. It's pretty sick. Let's see. Ronan says, I do. Molotov Chrome won't last on anything. And if you gloss coat it, it gets dull somewhat.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
I used it on my Sharasai, my Marasai custom, with a crazy backpack. 3 times faster. And I got a little bit of a mixed result with that chrome as well, as to whether or not it was like super shine versus like semi shine.
I've also heard like the dry time. I've never used it in that as a spray, but I've heard the dry time on it can be insane.
Oh yeah, Molotov was nuts. Yeah, it's days. Days and days and days. Cool. Thanks, Ungo. I'll talk to Zach. I gotta get I gotta save my pennies a little bit, but I want to get another one of these David tools. Oh, they're so good. Gotta do my video. Have yet to do it because I've been busy doing all of the other many things that I'm doing. So let's see. Jeff says Alkalad works and works very well, but Malton no. He usually uses decanted Tamiya TS83 spray can metallic silver, or the equivalent gold, and that works quote unquote very well over the GX Black. Good to know.
I've used Alkalad Chrome and Alkalad Polished Aluminum. It's Polished Aluminum? I think that was the name of the color. Mm-hmm. And both came out very, very shiny. Cool. They are a little, I don't want to say tricky to spray. It's not tricky. You have to just pay attention. Like it's not like a typical lacquer. You can't just spray it down. You have to mist coat it on and hold it at like a 45-degree angle while you're spraying. But it comes out really nice.
Nice. Yeah, there's some cool. There are some cool chroming things that are available out there that rely on wet coating and stuff. I've seen some interesting things back when I was doing all the metalworking, where I saw some awesome coating, which is pretty sweet to watch. Being a polisher, as it were, in one form. Righteous. I have had paints crack, but not on my models. I have seen the dreaded finisher, or not finisher, but the future. I have seen the future yellow, which is sad to see on something that you like and have used. To see the future yellow on it, be like, yeah.
Good thing I used it once and it didn't yellow, but when I put decals over the top of it, the decal solution, like the softer and setter, like fogged it up. But the like subsequent clear coats kind of took care of it. But it was a little like, oh, when I did it, I was like, what the hell is this?
Yeah, it's not used. No.
I probably wouldn't use it again as like in that.
No, I'll use it on my floors. That's what it's for.
I would maybe think about it. I know, like for some clear parts, it comes out pretty cool and stuff like that. I'd probably use it in that sense, but
maybe
again. But I don't know if I'd be using.
I will work on my my plastic polishing techniques before I try to rely on gloss coating something or dipping something in future. Again, I already have done it. Like on the flea, I polished the clear plastic out and I didn't dip it in that stuff. Yeah, nah, only goes on the floor, in my opinion. Let's see. We got some weird things with cracking paint. Usually, cracking paint deals with different levels of dry rate between your layers of your paint. So, like if you have a layer of paint that's on top of something that dries fast, and then the layers below it dry slower. If they dry, everything will dry on top to a crisp, and then when the things below it dry, it will create a crack and split the things on top as it contracts and dries below. That's what usually happens. And now if it's, doing like a part is cracking or something along those lines, it's a solvent-based crack, like that's wholly different. But so many people talking about Moto, and I'm all just like I'm gonna go make a drink. Yeah. So before I go, make a drink and we come back in 30 seconds. Look at all these sprues. Look at all these gates, guys.
Gates on gates.
So many gates. What am I gonna do with all these gates? It's like, let's see how much Gates it is. Is it Bill Gates? Bad joke. Bad joke, dad joke. All right. What do we got?
Number 2 for the night.
Kilos. Oh yeah. Well, not for my life though. All right. How many pounds is it? It is 1.116 pounds.
Gigawatt.
Of like weird organic gates. Anybody want some?
Who needs gates? Huh?
I got a bunch. They're cool. They're very interesting because they are basically the organic pouring sprues that I use for all of the full city models. So there are a lot of really righteous organic shapes in there. If you want some, I can get you some. Especially you, Manny, because you're in the hood.
But used it on gloss black Alkalad.
Teeth, says Pabs. This is more like a handful of teeth. I love the way this looks. It's a handful of skulls. But they're like, I said to my wife that I should make these, to drop some onto my computer. I should make these into, should make a mold out of these and then cast them in chocolate. Do a food safe silicone mold, right? And then cast them in chocolate or cast them in like some sort of candy or something. Because totally could do that. Like, that's nothing.
I do not like the way.
Julius says, what do I do with the gates? So, Julius, what I do with the gates is I save them and use them wherever I can. And if I can also unload them onto my friends and fellow modelers, I also do that. I just give a big pile of them to Julio when he was over here hanging out the other day. Here, use these. Make stuff. It's really handy. There's some really cool shapes in there. And like I said, there some of them are organic, some of them are mechanical shapes. So some of them look like piping, like plumbing, stuff like that. Other ones look like more like just like organic forged metal. I use them for the antlers. I'll make yourself bigger, as Julio always says. I use them for the horn. Ooh. Here we go. For the antlers on this helmet. So I use those and then just like kind of gussy them up a little bit. This thing looks pretty good though, right? I can't wait to get a chance to start painting this thing. But yeah, so that's what I use those things for. I used them on the Kotobukiya, the build I built, the assault platform guy. There uses like exhaust and a couple other locations in there, just like kind of like try and filter them where I can. Ultimately, I just don't want them to be thrown away because it's just horrible for the environment and everything. So I'm going to hold on to them until I expire from this earth if I can't find a good home or a way to recycle them. So that's what's going on. Yeah, exactly, Manny says like biomechanical, yeah, that kind of thing. Like the idea was like, yeah, I can do them from that. I'm sure that when I do the Sentinel and I end up doing the big diorama that's going to go along with the Sentinel, I'll be using that to do some sort of weird vegetation or something along those lines in relation to that monstrosity. Unless I do something like in space, in which case there will be no vegetation. But you know,
no vegetation in space.
Usually no. Almost always. Just saying. No vegetation on space debris yet. It's a big yet.
I got a good amount finished tonight, actually. I'm pretty happy with how that turned out. Yeah. Let's see if I can grab a piece.
Do you want to do a show and tell?
Let me see what you can actually see. What can you see? don't know if it's going to really like show up much in the way of. I didn't really show you guys what it looked like beforehand, but
I can kind of see it. It doesn't really. It won't really show up super well in this style of form until it gets like that matte coat.
Matte coat, yep.
Yeah, it changes everything. I
Well,
remember
like it toned down the chipping quite a bit, which is what I'm most happy with, and just kind of brought all the put some grime over the top of the decal so they didn't look so stark, so white.
Yeah.
Kind of like blended some things together. And just gave it like an one overall finish. So
absolutely, give it a little more homogeneity. That's a horrible word to try and use.
Homogeneity.
Make it more harmonious. Yeah, a little more harmony. Yeah, we're getting there. We'll just slowly walk that one back until it makes sense. It's cool.
You're working on the resin stain. No. I bought that, but I don't really have a plan to build it right now. That's just one of those kits, man, like those big kits or like those third-party kits. Sometimes if you don't buy them like right when they release, you can never get it. Like the Mechanicore kits are like that. So I just grabbed it because I thought it looked cool, like 8 months ago, 9 months ago, or whatever, and showed up on my door. I didn't really know what to expect. It's super nice.
Yeah, it looks incredible.
When I'm gone. Later, bud.
Wow, Michael Dawson. What did you miss? Well.
We each finished 3 kits. It was crazy.
Yeah.
It was fast.
I haven't built a single thing. We've talked about a lot of stuff. A handful of skulls.
Built so much. It was crazy. Super fast.
Mad wild. It was nuts. I put together a Quebly and Penelope and Kshatriya.
Right.
My hands behind my back. Only using my
too.
Oh, yo. So who has seen was it Gunpla Maker or whatever they're doing that charity stream coming up on the 31st, 25-hour live stream where they are building 5 of them are building 100 scale Kshatriya resin kits.
That's crazy.
5 hour or 25 hour live stream.
You're right, Ungawa. It is plastic. I knew what he was talking about, so I didn't.
Yeah, we just having fun. So
didn't correct. But yeah, it's a plastic kit. Did you talk about the new PG Gundam? Just a real small amount, but
very little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot.
Quite expensive. Looks great, but quite expensive for a. But we'll see. Like I think it's got some really cool things about it that if they started bringing that into other models, I'd be really excited for. Like the RX-78 just doesn't really, the design wise, it doesn't really do much for me, but the model itself looks really awesome. And if they want to bring that many gimmicks and open hatch things into PGs, then I'm in for that. I mean, especially I think like if you're going to spend $300 on a kit like that, you want, you definitely want everything you can get out of it.
Yeah, you want it to do all the things to be like the coolest shit.
Right.
Yep.
Age of the Kshatriya, the pinnacle work from Bandai. Yeah. Like as far as, whatever you feel about the RX-78 design, but the kit just looks amazing. I mean, I'm sure I'll be tempted sooner or later to buy one. Let's just put it like that.
Totally.
Sooner or later, I'll crack.
Like I said, I could see myself doing one up and doing some customization to it and like redoing the colors in a different way, like doing my own me thing to it. I could see that totally. Angawa, you're absolutely right. There is no way that they will finish it in 25 hours. They're all of various levels of skill in relation to their prowess for resin and or model making. So it should be interesting to see all the same. And it's a charity stream, so that's legit too. You can't go bad, or you can't like hate on anybody just doing something for a good cause ultimately. So
you can. This is America.
Oh fuck. Kill me now. Oy.
I'm buying it because I want them to. Yeah. I'm not Although I have seen a couple people now build the unicorn, and from what I can gather, it's very nice. But like, it's cool that the knee bends more, but I don't really care. Like, I'm gonna put it in a static pose without the knees bent anyway.
There you go.
So, and I built one unicorn master grade, and I just fucking hated it. So
I've only done the high grade ones.
I did the Phoenix master grade, and it's not. Yeah, it wasn't fun. I didn't enjoy it.
Also, right?
Right. Yeah, it was one of my least favorite. Like, just snaps. Like, I got done, and I was like, wish I
feel
did
like
not buy
you
that kit.
raged through it as well. There was very little done on the live stream. I feel like you just kind of like
I was annoyed because like it's probably because the lights in here. One, it's hard to see on that shiny plastic. Like, it's just hard to like, is that lined up? Because everything just, all the light just bounces back at you. Everyone says it's a fingerprint magnet, and it is, but that didn't bother me. But there's so many little tiny pieces of armor that go on that thing to create like the separations. I don't even know, like, I'm not even talking about stability, because people say like, oh, it's not stable because it transforms. I don't give a shit, but it was just annoying to build. It wasn't fun. I'm going to spend north of 200. I'll take the PG. Yeah. If I had to pick one of those two kits, I'd definitely take the PG. I like mechanical detail, and that has got that in spades over the unicorn.
Oh yeah, hands down. So many layers upon layers upon layers of awesome detail, especially with all that open hatch. So effing cool.
Right. And I built the perfect grade Exia lighting model, and that was a really fun build. Like, it's a fun scale to build in for me, at least. Everything was like big, but it had a lot of parts. Now the Exia doesn't have as much like mechanical detail, just by kind of design. It just doesn't have like a 5,000 pistons in it and stuff. But just a really fun build. Still use resin as an excuse to be lazy.
Still sanding.
Yeah.
Respect.
So should I pre-order another Perfect Grade Unleashed? I'm arguing with myself if I should pre-order another or not. Do it up, man. I like the new frame. Is going back to the old school look, 3 layers of frame. Yeah, I like that too. I've built a couple of kits from like that 2005 to 2012, somewhere in that range, and I thought like the mechanical detail was better at that point.
Right.
Like on the inner frames, at least. Now they started like shifting away to that and then making them very like utilitarian. Like, it works well, which is good, but I still want my detail. Like, I guess it just depends like what you want, right? Like, out of the kit. Like, to me it's yeah, well, I mean, if I had to pick one though, like, I don't really care if it can do like a crazy pose, because like I said, I'm probably gonna.
True. Well, it depends. Like, some things, like if it's a build, like if it's an idea, a concept that I'm going for, I'm going to totally customize something, and I want to see this wacky pose, I will make it get that wacky pose.
Right. You can make anything, I guess, theoretically, but like, it's kind of hard to make like mechanical detail. Like the. When I say that, I mean like the molded in detail on a frame. Like, that would be a pretty tough thing to go in and carve that out yourself.
All right, here we go, Julius. Gonna cut up that weapon on that 79. Give it that modification.
Go for it.
It's always nervous at first. Oh, it's always. I understand.
Make it do anything modeling wise. Yeah. Absolutely. I thought like the seed kits did a really good job of that. Like, they had a good amount of mechanical detail, and they could still pose pretty well. I mean, I know that some of them had some weak hip joints and stuff like that, but like, I built the Justice, the like pinkish red one, and that one moved really well, and it had like some sliding armor. It had like a lot of still molded in mechanical detail underneath. It had like multiple layers of frame on it, like everything, like you put the 2 leg pieces together, and then it would have the calves go over the back of it, and then the armor.
Okay.
That was cool. I like that
Not
one.
as extreme as saying Astray, where the frame has
right. Yeah, but I mean, there you go. It's a seed kit, so it's still got like that,
right.
multiple. But I think that's like a really specific design because it's supposed to look almost like fibrous, like muscles.
Hmm.
You know, in some way, like that's the way I always like kind of saw it, or at least is like you can kind of see it definitely in the high res version of that kit. Like it actually has like in the shoulders and the biceps, it actually has these like fibrous muscle looking pieces.
Interesting.
I've heard the Barbatos had like a really nice frame and a lot of movement. I got to build that. The Master Grade Barbatos.
Yeah, I have that. Yeah, it's right up there. Yeah,
I got to build that. I got to put that together.
Yeah. What did I get that for? Christmas? Yeah, I got that for Christmas. Shit.
It's crazy. Like you think those kits came out like a month ago, like, and then you like look back and you're like, shit, that was 2018. You sure? And I still haven't built it.
Right? Yeah, that was Christmas. Yeah, that was Christmas. I'm trying to remember. Everything's a blur. What did I get for my birthday? I had one in there between then and now. The hell?
Yeah. The no grade 1/100 Astray frame was excellent in the posing department. I own so many Astrays, but I've only built one. That's sad. I have the blue frame D, I think that is the one with the big sword, not with the spiky bits, and Master Grade, and it poses pretty well. Like, I mean, the sword makes it hard to pose with, like if you want to pose with the weapon, but yeah, the Buster sword, I think is what they're called.
Yeah, I had the red Kai.
Yes, yeah, I think that's the same, basically the same sword. Like when you put it together, it's like the two pieces.
Gigantic thing. Yeah,
I have. I own many Astrays. Many.
Yeah, some would say he might have a problem.
I have one more in the mail coming. I have the P Bandai with the flight pack on the way.
Oh, I mean, that's cool.
I had to have it.
I can't.
It was one more Astray. I had to have it. At this point, I can't not buy an Astray.
I'm not gonna hate on you for it, man. Do what you want, honestly. Like you want, own them all. Own doubles. Who gives a shit? It's cool as long as you're having
the
fun.
irony is, I don't have the one you built. I don't have the plain Master Grade that you can go into like any Barnes and Noble and buy.
Well,
I don't like that one.
fair enough. It was the
backpack.
second.
I feel like that stupid triangle backpack. It doesn't make any sense. Like if you try to make the sword the backpack.
Oh yeah.
It looks like a triangle.
Yeah, and then you fold the parts out and it makes that. Yeah, because that's no. It's weird.
Just like the old PG Gundam clown feet.
Oh, like what were they? Big and like long, like
and like very flat.
Thing.
The Delta.
Nice. Ungawa says that his sister got them the M Master with the straight turn red. Painting it green.
One big sword aren't enough, so you need two big swords. And the colors are flipped around, like it's got a white frame and red armor or something like that.
Uh-huh.
Jeff won a PG Astray a couple years ago, and he only built the frame. I don't have any perfect grade Astrays. Or I've had interest in the Nilsson, I think it is Nilsson Works or Nilsson something or another. They're like built like Master Grades, but they're 1/60 scale. And I know they have the red and the blue frame, and I think they might have came out with a green as well. Yeah, two giant swords with Gatling guns on them.
Oh my!
What are you gonna do for that, huh?
Wow, that takes the whole gun sword concept to a whole new level. It's like the what was that Final Fantasy VIII?
Yeah, with the sword on the gun.
Mm-hmm. It was like it was basically a sword and it had like a gun that was like on the top.
Yeah.
So bizarre. So bizarre.
The PG Astray is too damn fat. He's thick.
Oh yeah, well that's the problem with scaling and then sizing and doing all the cool things that you want. Like it all needs room.
Jeff's watching a Nilsson Astray build, and every single part has sink marks. Okay.
That sounds terrible.
Yeah. It's a lot of sanding. Fuck. A lot of sanding.
All right. The gunplate of Safer and Squall. Correct the window.
What did he mean? Oh, man.
Well, man, what is wow? How do you sum it up?
We finished 5 kits. That's what you missed.
Exactly. We finished 5 kits.
was
Put them together.
crazy.
My hand time having it back. Only teeth.
Yeah,
I think this is-
they're all over there drying right now. Otherwise, I would show you.
Yeah, I painted them with my only my mouth using my airbrush. It was amazing.
The jaw's a little sore now, but
Nope, not at all. It's like double jointed like a snake, so I can just like that's how I get my manipulation. It's how I get the feathering down with the.
Mix the paint with my tongue while it's in the
None
cup.
of this makes sense. Exactly.
What? Oh, how is the Gabon Master Grade Astray blue frame? I have it. I have one of them. I have the one with the bazooka pack, but I haven't snapped it. It's the one that looks like the metal build from Bandai. I bet you learned a lot.
Manny, we're still
Still talking to strays.
we're still talking to strays. They're still talking to strays. I have very small frame of reference when it comes to the strays, so don't hold it against me.
He doesn't like ashtrays.
This is a bad version. Here we go.
Done talking ashtrays. Done weathering for now. I still got legs and torso to finish up. Hopefully I can finish that up tomorrow.
I got color theory to work on, and just finished up today doing the work on my first 4 full city upgrade kits. So one of them is already purchased. So there are 3 more for those. Actually, no, there's one is promised, but 2 more that are available if you want them. I need to talk to one of a few other people. So hit me up if you want one of those, because they're available, and hit me up if you still want one, because I will make more. Because I'm not going to make them if you don't want them. There's no reason to. But for that's worth.
P Bandai Master Grade Astray Red Dragon. Another one I have and have not built, but I'm pretty sure that's just a plain Astray with like gun swords. Again, more gun swords. This must be an Astray.
Squall would be proud.
Gun swords. Question: what kit would you want Bandai to make that has all the gimmicks that PG Unleashed has?
Stein?
Master Grade Kshatriya.
No, Stein.
You think the Sinanju Stein? I mean, that had a fair amount of
PG.
you want perfect grade for sure, right? A perfect grade. I'd like to see a perfect grade Zeta, because I don't think the Zeta 2.0 is very good, and I don't think the perfect grade Zeta is very good either. So we don't really have a great iteration of the Zeta outside of the high grade. Any of the GP series Gundams, GP01, I'd be happy with. I have the perfect grade GP01, but the proportions on it are a little funky, I think.
Yeah, he has the perfect grade GPO one. He's just waiting to send it to me.
Yep. a perfect grade Moon Gundam. That would be OG Saz and PG. Yes, PG ball. PG ball for the win. How about the PG ball with the legs on it? I don't know what that one's called. Polyball? Polypod ball?
Yeah. It's the one that everybody accused me of using in the flea, but I was like, nah, man, that thing is like itty bitty compared to the flea.
A perfect grade Barbatos could be like really, really cool with all those gimmicks because it's already got like a lot of piston detail and like some open hatches in there. That
they
could
would
be
have to, like, because the frame doesn't really change much aside from potentially the feet, really.
Mm-hmm.
And then the length of the forearms and the length of the lower legs. Other than that, I think that the frame, for the most part, through Bandai's eyes, doesn't really change, or Sunrise for that matter, doesn't really change much. So they could totally do a PG Barbatos Extreme, where it has like all the layers of Barbatos,
right.
All the like the flat feet, and then like the raised feet, and then the really raised feet, and then like the tail and the hands, and like the big arms and the big hands, and like all that crazy cool stuff, without having to go into like a P Bandai kind of territory, like they did with the GPO1 and the full Burnian, where it has like the whole everything stuff. Throw it all in.
Where's the fun in that? I mean, we got to have 15 P Bandai variants. This is Bandai. Okay.
No,
like,
no.
They're going to go broke if they don't make P Bandai.
Trust me, you don't. No.
A P Bandai. I could do a perfect grade Hazel. That'd be really cool. And they would never make that because it's too obscure. Perfect grade new. That's a good one. Perfect grade new. Like in the Verka style.
I guess it would have to be. It's about the same size as the unicorn, right?
Yeah.
When it's
But I would want it in that Verka style because like the real grade's like quite a bit different. It doesn't have as many like gimmicks to it. They're like that's more like it's more like the anime, and the Verka's not so much.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go with perfect grade Sazabi. Man, that thing would be fucking huge. God.
Same thing with the Kashat. Like, why the hell would you do that? Like,
yeah, I was thinking a master grade. I want a master grade Kashat trade. It doesn't have to have every.
Well, I mean, there are good versions of it out there. They just take work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Moon I don't think is popular enough. More than likely, it'll be like a Zeta or a Freedom or something like that. That's probably what we're gonna get. If I could see a Freedom, I think that'd be a safe bet.
That I agree. That would probably be a very safe bet.
They don't have a perfect grade Freedom. They have the perfect grade Strike Freedom.
They should fucking do a perfect grade Buster.
Yeah, a perfect grade on all those suits.
I've got the dual. Did you get the Shroud upgrade, Paul?
No, I didn't get it. I wish I would have.
Yeah, so I was lucky enough to snag the last one at Galactic Toys. Wait, was that? No, I got that one that was for the new. I'm sorry. No, the one that I got came from China through Pabst.
Yeah.
We all bought together, a few of us. But yeah, so that'd be cool, right? Because the dual is interesting. What Julio was building one. He was over here the other day, and he was building the HG from the Build Divers. It was a dual. What the heck? And it looked like a cross between like the F90, one of the packs of the F90, with like a weird like long torso, and like, but still had like that dual shroud style of like armor on over armor. Yeah.
Right. Perfect grade Jesta. I would take a perfect grade Jesta and be very, very happy.
Mm-hmm.
And I would even take some P Bandai variants, like if you wanted to give me, some variants on the Jesta, because I'd be happy with my plain Jesta, and then if I found a variant I'd like, I would.
Dude, PG
goof. My
monies. How many people would lose their shit on a PG goof? Right?
Yeah, they do have a 160 goof. The HYM thing.
Now.
Like, I mean, shit. I would absolutely.
Not a goof from
PG goof flight type. That would be so dope.
No. P Bandai, flight type only.
I don't care if it's V Bandai. I would grab that.
Just give us the regular goof, the B, the B version, the upgraded one with the Gatling shield.
Yes, yeah. The one from
PG.
HMS.
Singing. That'd be hype. That'd be so hype.
I want a PG High Gog.
Well, maybe not a GOG, maybe a ACK guy or
the High Gog. The High Gog with the arms.
No, there's a Zagok. What about that?
Yeah, I can do that.
Maybe PG Zagok. I don't know. I could see I want to see a Master Grade Thunderbolt ACK guy variants.
Yeah.
Right? PG variants.
I want to see just more Thunderbolt Master Grades in general. Like Master Grades, like all of them. Like you can keep your perfect grade. How about that? But can I have anything other than all we got was the Thunderbolt Gundam and the Psycho Zaku.
Yeah.
I'd take all the GM variants they have. I'll take
the GM variants are so effing cool. And that's little sneaky sneak on the side. One of the things that I'm working on is a Master Grade version of Thunderbolt stuff that isn't available. So
yeah, I would take the ACK guy, even the Atlas. I was surprised they never came out with the Master Grade Atlas. I thought that was going to be a thing.
That is weird, right? I mean, they made several different versions of the high grade version of it, right? And then including sparkly clear and all this other crazy shit,
right?
Or pearlescent and all that crap, which is fine for people that like that stuff.
Yeah,
I just
thought, given the first season came out and we got the Master Grades of each of the lead suits, but I guess they were really things they already had. It was a 2.0
kind of upgraded versions of of things that they had. Well, though, have you built the Master Grade full armor Thunderbolt?
No, but I know it's a 2.0 frame for the most part.
Yeah, but it ain't the same shit. So I built I guess how similar is the 2.0 frame to the Origin Gramps? Because I built the Origin Gramps. Because I built the Origin Gramps before I built the full armor Thunderbolt. The only reason I built the Origin Gramps is because we're doing the Alex eventually.
Yeah.
Right. So, but then having built that and then building the Thunderbolt, there is enough difference between the two of them. They still suck equally, but the Gramps kits are just not, man, I don't know. Something about them. They feel weak.
Yeah.
They feel weak.
Once the Thunderbolt anime comes back, I certainly hope so. I really hope we get the rest of that series animated. That would be pretty upsetting if they just stopped at that point.
Well, there were some issues, right? There was
he stopped releasing the mangas for quite a while.
Well, sort of. There was an issue with the artist, and then now it's back out. It's been coming out. There are actually 2 issues ahead of us overseas right now. Right. We're behind quite a bit. As is the way it is. It takes time to translate that stuff and reprint it. Yeah. But there was also some tragedies last year in regards to psycho arson at animation houses, and there's a lot of weird social things going on that have hampered the
and
animation.
Obviously COVID, so much got delayed this year in the way of just plain anime, in general.
Mm-hmm.
But what? So the Master Grade Seed. The Seed remaster, the Seed Dub remaster is supposed to come out beginning of next year, maybe. It's the beginning of January, and that's got a couple of the voice actors from the dub of Thunderbolt in it. The guy who plays EO is Kira's voice, I believe.
Cool.
So at least they're still working, and hopefully that's a positive. So.
Yeah, things all got weird and slowed down.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
That's cool. It's a good thing that there's
Kyoto Animation Studio was the one that got hit by Arsonist. Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that was Psycho. That whole shit blew my mind.
Mm-hmm.
Makes the mind play boggle, as Kelly Bundy would say.
Hopefully after Hathaway we get Moon anime.
Maybe. I think they're gonna. I honestly think they're probably gonna continue with the Origin sooner than later.
Origin, I could
rehash beginning, and then we get a bunch of like 2.0, 3.0 versions of all the other kits.
Well, they're kind of leaning towards going like late UC stuff, like here's Hathaway takes place after Unicorn and everything. I could see Crossbone finally getting animated or like F series
after Unicorn.
Hathaway's Flash takes place after Unicorn.
Because I thought it wasn't Hathaway and Zeta.
He was, but in this, he's a full-grown adult now. Like he's a full-grown adult, and he's as grown as he's gonna get.
Are you trying to tell me that a protagonist dies? What is this, George R. Martin?
No.
It's bound to happen.
Crossbone may never happen.
Nah, Crossbone probably never happen, which is wild because there's so much fun things that go on. I think it's weird they couldn't do Crossbone like some of the farther extended stuff, like Bandit Heart and some of those other weird IPs, because like the those sections of the IPs, I should say, are so varied and issue related, almost like for the manga. So like one of the issues I really love has a suit that I've actually worked on building a replica of one of the suits from the manga. It's like super obscure and really wacky and wild, and it's like they can't really like tie that into a movie or an episode or something like that. So it's weird. You would need to like go back in time and release that stuff in the 90s before it was created. Or like, as it was created, like as an animation, to try and get that to happen. Let's retroact. Somebody create a time machine. Okay.
Do it now. I'd love to see some of the books. Sentinel.
Sentinel,
I mean, they would never do it because they already did. What's the name of the movie where Char and Amuro don't make it with the Sazabi. No, with the Sazabi. Char's counterattack. Right. Yeah, so Char's counterattack is one version of that story, but there's like a book, Beltachika's Children, which is like a retelling of that, and it's a little different. That would be a cool movie.
I could see that.
Yeah, Dengeki Hobby is not going to let Sentinel go for. Well, I mean, listen, Sunrise has plenty of money.
Or what about Solomon Express? Yeah, like Advanced Zeta. Like they can do so much. They can do so much with all the cool designs out there, from Solomon Express to Advanced Zeta. Excuse me, a number of other IPs within the overarching.
Or I'll take just like another alternate universe story, like just like an IBO style thing, like just give me a new universe with something, like as long as it's a good anime and it's not Build Divers or whatever build series, like I'd be happy.
Well, I get what they were coming from with the whole, like, because I like Build Fighters, right? And that because it was like lightly playing on the hobby as well as creating and like the social thing around the hobby for kids or whatever. It's very YA, but that's neither here nor there. This other thing is like super duper Y, like super young related. But I like where they're going for the mixing and mashing of various things to try and bring people into the higher level of customization, where like those of us now, like myself, like you, Paul, like a lot of people out here in the chat and watching that would watch the stuff that I put out, are going to be able to take a kit or want to take a kit that is a 1.0 or a whatever, or no grade or whatever, and then turn it into that thing, that is a creation in your mind, and they're trying to plant that seed in the young kids watching this stuff. It's good.
And you gotta like make it, listen, if they're gonna survive as a company, they have to make it marketable, right? To a wide variety, especially when you're selling model kits where your reach is everything from, an 8-year-old to a 30-year-old, like, or 40-year-old, whatever. Like, but it's a pretty, they make anime to sell model kits and toys.
Yes, exactly.
It's not the other way around. So,
Yeah, it's always been that way.
You got to make something that people are gonna, be inspired by and then want to buy a kit and build. But yeah,
Yeah.
I just want to see like some. I really don't care if it's a UC show or some alternate universe show. Just something that's more, like that IBO or Thunderbolt or even like 00, something along those lines more.
Yeah, Double is not bad. I've seen most of 00 a couple of times.
Yeah, I mean, just something other than
yeah.
A build show.
Truth. As he says, Build Divers didn't do it, in his opinion, as a story, which is kind of close to a regular AU line.
Yeah. I would like Moon to get an anime just to have model kits. Yeah. I'll take it. Like, hear me complain. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Some more variety. Like, I love that there's so much stuff out there in the high grade line, but I just don't build high grade models because they're
small.
Don't make no sense.
Yeah.
For me, personally. Like your
tiny.
A real grade is this tiny in my big ass hand. This is no fun for a big guy like myself to be building on. Now, not everybody is as big as me, but
too damn small. Yeah, especially the real grades with all those parts. Like, I think high grades, can be fun. Like,
I still have my real grade crossbone that I won last year at GBWC. That I'm just like, I think it's in deep storage now. It's like locked away in the dungeon. Someday I'll have a relative with small hands that will get you.
The high grades can be cool because they're so cheap. Like, so if you want to customize and kit bash, like
very accessible.
Yeah,
right?
You could spend $30, $40 on 2 or 3 kits instead of $40 on one master grade.
Right.
So that's cool. They're not for me per se, but I can see.
Yeah. No, but I see the draw. And I have a handful of high grade kits just because they're like, things that you can't get or whatever.
Japan loves 1/144. That's what Ngawa says. Tiny hands. No, I'm just kidding.
I can't do that.
Yeah, I feel the same way.
You saw how many times I dumped these? These are 1 to 20 scale skulls. Like, I would love to make them into like Skittles. Skull-shaped Skittles. That'd be righteous. I don't know how you do it. I can't do that. I can't make Skittles. I'm not a Skittles man.
And
I'll make like Reese's peanut butter cups. Oh shit! All right, we are
past the witching hour.
We're gonna, whoop. Mr. Paul, please do them kindly. Tell them where they can find you.
Yeah, Gunpla Paul on Instagram and Twitter, and here on YouTube. And obviously, come hang out with us here every Thursday at the KotoKai Robo-Dojo.
Thanks, Paul, and I am Builder Brian. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter as well, and on Facebook. Occasionally, I am spouting some crazy shit, but most of the time, I'm down to talk cool stuff about models. So if you have any questions, please hit me up. You can find me potentially tomorrow night on Mechanism if it's still happening. And coming up next week, I'll be on Tuesday and Thursday as well here on the Robo-Dojo. So thank you guys for stopping by tonight. We appreciate you as much as you appreciate us. Thank you again, guys. Thank you, Paul.
Yeah.
Hanging out
Thank you,
as
Brian.
always. Yeah. We'll see you guys next time.
Later.
Good night.